welcome back to On the Range at Blackstone Shooting Sports. I'm your host, Cory Campbell, and I am pretty excited today for our two guests. We have Matt, aka The Collector, and Matt Riker of Kings River Customs. Thanks for being here, guys.
Hey. No problem.
Really quickly, just before we get into everything, could you guys give us just a little brief, just a little tidbit about yourselves, anything you want anyone watching to know?
Go ahead, Matt.
Kings River Custom, fairly new custom 1911 company on the block. We've been doing it a long time for a lot of other companies, but now we're making our own pistols. Employee-owned company, building bespoke 1911s, and eventually some other models in the near future.
Sweet.
And as far as the Collector on YouTube, it's been going on for about 3 years now. YouTube stuff has.
Okay.
Kind of blown up.
Well, that's I guess if you don't mind, let's start there. So how did based on the name, the collecting itself start? Because obviously you collect more than just firearms.
Right. It's been going on for about 15 years now is how long it's been going on.
And was there anything like that's sort of created I enjoy collecting, or just?
It was starting to buy things that not your normal person would buy. Unique guns, different things that off the shelf stuff, maybe, weird calibers, stuff like that. And then it projected to more expensive stuff that normally a person wouldn't just go buy just to hang on the wall and don't shoot. That kind of thing.
So it actually did start with firearms then?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
What was the first gun then that sort of started this journey?
Started the gun, it was probably my Barrett, my 50 cal, my M107.
And that was the first gun?
That was the first gun. I went big.
That's a good start.
Can tell.
Yeah,
that's a good start.
I went big, and then it projected.
That's the way to do it.
It went projected after that. Then I got my dad's 22 after he passed away, his shotgun, stuff like that, which I'm always going to cherish. But then, the rabbit hole went, straight from there. Then I was getting, people would call me, certain gun stores that have in my back pocket would say, hey, we just got this unique gun, this customer dropping in there, you interested? For example, a 460 Roland that nobody likes to make because they're weenies. But something like that, stuff like that, and then it just gets crazy from there. I mean, this is cool stuff.
Well, I guess just for anybody who has not seen a lot of your content, you have a rather vast collection.
Yes.
So just to at least get an idea of where you are at with your collection, I'm just going to kind of give you a couple of just quick fire, and if you got a story with it, you can. But What is your most expensive gun?
I have a Cabot that we paid around $45,000 for.
$45,000. What
we
is
have
it?
Two actually.
Is that particular? Is it a bunch of different materials?
Yeah, it's full Damascus, clear mags, clear, which is kind of cool. Clear grips, stuff like that for that one. There's two of those that we got.
That one sounds pretty cool. Okay, yeah. What about maybe most memorable?
Oh God, that's a toughie. You're gonna make me think on that one. Usually people ask me what my most favorite gun is, but that's pretty difficult. I always go to my dad's because it is. Memorable gun. Wow, you stumped me. You
can also
probably my Mac 10. It was my first full auto.
Is there anything that just because it's full auto, so that's what makes it kind of memorable?
Yeah, my first one because after I got the paperwork done, all that kind of crap.
Okay,
it's just something I didn't own. I didn't think I'd ever own.
It's about the journey on that one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and the money.
Yeah, it was not cheap.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
And then I'd say what is kind of goes in with expensive, but not necessarily rarest gun.
Oh God. Well, anything that's rare is going to be expensive, so it's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, I know it kind of tends to correlate, but
probably I have the Shytech serial number 1, the very first one, Shytech M200. I even have the CADs and on this thumb drive, so I can go make it if I wanted to.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess looking at some of these guns, is there what makes a gun worth buying for you? Because I can imagine, with you obviously making such high-end guns as well, at a certain point, what you're looking for or what piques your interest, I would imagine changes a lot before you're like, okay, now I'll buy this.
Something cool materials, number 1. 2, a caliber that you can't go off to the gun store and buy. For example, not to pick 460 Roland. There's no reason. Yeah, there's a theme going on there because somebody's being a weenie about it. But
Kevin,
that's Kevin. Anyway, that round you just can't go off the shelf and go buy. You don't see them a lot.
Okay.
So something like that, and then if it's built where it's user friendly, for my old ass, it's got to have a red dot. Okay, so I can actually see, and it's got to have a certain grip on it that I like. So you want to be able to hang on to it. When you spend that much money for a gun, you don't want to drop it.
Oh yeah.
So I want something nice and grippy.
Do you still find yourself, I mean, obviously with some of the, more expensive guns or rare guns, do you still find yourself at times being kind of drawn in by things that are slightly less just in your face and, bright and loud and flashy?
Yeah, I'm just not really this is kind of stupid, but I'm not really a flashy guy. It doesn't have to be flashy for me to buy it.
Okay, so yeah, that's like it
doesn't have to be flashy. Well, for example, I was just here when we were in the gun store. I found something I wanted, and it was that the Kel-Tec integrally suppressed 9mm. I thought it was cool, so I bought it.
It's a cool gun.
It's a cool gun.
Fits in a backpack.
Yeah, it fits in a backpack. I can keep it at the ranch. I mean, it's perfect, and it's quiet.
One tax stamp.
Just in case, yeah.
Yeah, just one tax stamp.
And everything else, and I'm ready to rock. So you can put big mags in it. So it'll come in handy at the ranch. So something like that, for $1,000, to me, that's worth it.
Practical.
Yes, very, very practical. And it's going to be quiet as hell.
Yeah. Fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely can chime in on this because I imagine you've probably, in the amount of time, the decades you've been in the gun industry, you've probably ran across some pretty cool things. But what is on the list for you guys in terms of what you don't have, whether it's just because you haven't been able to find it or just the right thing hasn't come up yet? What is it that you're still searching for that's actually on the must-have list for you guys?
For me, there's some makers I'd like to have make me a gun. I like Jason Burton a lot. I'd like Jason to cut me a Colt. Stan's a good guy to have a gun built by. Stan Chin, Alex Zimmerman, another guy, a gun crafter, builds that 50 GI. Good gunsmith. I'd like him to build me a gun. Then I'd like to find a Singer for my collection.
Oh, a Singer.
Yeah, if I'm going after
a 1911 Singer.
Yeah. If I'm going after the Grail,
they're about $500,000 now. From last time I saw.
I've had two of them in my hands.
But they're gorgeous.
And why didn't you buy it?
They were customers.
Yeah.
That brought them over to our shops and was like, "Hey, check this out." I was like, "No, you hold it. I'll check it out."
I just saw one go up for sale.
It was
an auction. Refurbished. It went for $60,000.
Yeah, that's great.
But it was refurbished.
Yeah, you don't do that.
That's
you
wild.
don't touch it. People don't touch your guns if it's old.
You just don't do it.
If it's matching number, definitely don't do it. If it's a shooter, you can do it. But
this guy, it wasn't a shooter. It had plenty of patina. It was gorgeous. It was unbelievable, man.
Singer's badass.
Yeah, it's kind of the Grail. If you're a 1911 guy, that's kind of the Grail. The story behind that is during World War II, a lot of different companies were commissioned to make weapons. I don't have a Singer, but I have the other ones. I can't think of them all. Yeah, the second most, I forget that one too. But so Singer Sewing Machine Factory, made 1911s.
Do we remember? Anybody know off the top of our head how many Singers are roughly in circulation?
I
that
don't
they know
actually.
Of?
Matt
I know it's relatively.
I don't know.
I think it's a small number, but
it's got to be a small number for somebody.
It is. It's got to be
an
an intimate number. I don't have that in front of me, but that's one of the reasons they are so inclusive. There's just not many of them out there, and they were really actually pretty damn good guns.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting because a lot of those guns, especially, like you said, there were so many different 1911 companies at the time making, basically the same gun.
Yeah.
And it's wild to me to see how just deep that market is on secondary just for the collectors. I mean, there's so many little things on so many different brands of guns that were being made at the time that have, there's this one roll marker, this one little this or that, and it completely changes.
And I'll lean into, certain features on guns like the P7.
Yeah.
That's just a neat feature. It's a neat gun, a squeeze cocker. I mean,
I have one of those. Those are cool.
It's always going to be cool to me.
Yeah.
I'm a big German gun guy anyway.
So it's in Die Hard too. The Christmas
That's
movie, the best Christmas movie in the world.
That is a Christmas movie. It's not debatable.
Yes, it is. It is.
So I guess that brings me, a lot of those firearms, they're obviously going to be very expensive, but at least for me, it's probably not something I'm going to be actually taking out on the range, even probably rarely in shooting.
Right.
But a lot of listening to you talk and just various appearances, you guys talk a lot about the functional beauty. Maybe walk us through. I mean, are these guns really taking hundreds of hours across the board? Is that pretty standard for all of them, or are there certain things that are making some of these guns a lot longer in build time in terms of?
Oh yeah, you nailed it on the scope of the job is dependent on the amount of hours, and that builds into time, and that builds into the cost of the gun. A basic level 3 from us would take about, if we're talking about time on the bench, it's probably 4 weeks of time on the bench, and then another week of test fire and evaluation and making sure everything extracts and feeds and what have you. the one thing we do different is we don't put a clock on it. So whatever it takes is what it takes, right? I mean, there's nobody sitting there saying you need to get this done in 2 hours and be done with it, and we need to move on to the next one. There's no time inference in all those. Now, when it comes to something like that, when Cermac's building those guns, they have an inordinate amount of labor involved with them. We're talking 180 hours just of deep relief hand engraving on that one stainless gun, 240 on the black gun. And that's just the engraving. That doesn't include the work we did to prep the gun, to build the gun before we send it to the engraver.
And pictures do not do these things just for the
no,
actual
the
detail in these.
Thank
I know a person did them.
Yeah.
I just don't believe a person did them.
Yeah.
It's that intricate and that just like skillful.
We're proud of that fact. We're proud of the grip maker that makes the grips, the box maker that makes the box. I think it's the package for us that really encapsulates that time. Every artist that touches that package has the top level skill, and he has no clock. What it takes him to do it is what it takes. And he tells us, hey, how long did it take to build those grips? Well, that was 60 hours.
What's your lead time on that?
That gun right there, the black gun's probably about 6 to 9 months if I press hard.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I was expecting
That's
2 or 3
really
years.
good.
Well, I
Well,
know most manufacturers are 2 to 3 years. Some of them are 2
I
to
know.
3 years. Yeah.
So part of our ethos, Matt, is we don't want to have that giant backlog. We really want to be able to.
you want to stay ahead of it.
We want to stay ahead of it because we want our customers to get our guns and actually utilize them in their mind's eye, because
Right.
they're not thinking about a 3-year backlog when they order the gun.
Right.
Let's be honest. They're not. They're thinking, I'm okay, 6 months, I can get that gun.
Right.
It's always a shock when they hear 2 years from another manufacturer. I've done that job. I've worked there. It's something I really want to stay away from as an owner. And to this point, we're doing that. Now the orders are starting to pile in. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay under a year. But
Sometimes slow is fast.
right. And that's what we are. We are really methodical, and our team works so well together that you get in there, you just don't realize how smooth it's going. And you see those guns popping off those benches. You're like, wow, okay, you just started that a few days ago. Now that we're in slide to frame, yeah, it's quite magical what they do.
Well, I think for a long time, there's that the actual custom 1911 world has been just kind of, I wouldn't say handicapped, but it's been known for, and like if you want to be in that world, you have to wait 2, 3, 4. I mean, sometimes for some of these, like really sought after smiths, 5, 6 years I've seen. Even.
Oh yeah. And I need to back up as far as those guys I want to have built for me on that line. Jim Henry Wilson is probably the catalyst in my life that if I had one guy, if there was nobody else to build a gun, it'd probably be Henry Wilson. He is the godfather in 1911s in Northwest Arkansas. He has set the seed in the ground when it comes to talented gunsmiths. There's probably not, I've met them all, been around them all. They all talk about Henry. And Henry's in the small little circle of gunsmiths that know Henry Wilson is a god among men. There's no doubt about it. And
I hope he's teaching somebody, so it's not lost art.
That's it. He is teaching. And we're blessed. Our team is blessed to have had Henry involved in all their training. And that guy there, yeah, that'd be my ultimate builder for sure.
Well, and I know we have 2 like amazing bangers, no pun intended, of pistols. I mean, they're gorgeous. But like, walk us through. I know, based on your line, a couple of your different levels kind of vary in price. Could you just give us a bit of what makes, from one of your like railed 45s that's roughly $5,000 to all the way up to
17,000.
Yeah, 17, 20, 30, 125.
Yeah. So the base models, you're getting a Cerakote gun, which the prep on is pretty basic. You're looking at a 200 to 400 grit job on the gun where you're not really polishing the flats. It's all matte. So you're bead blasting, and then you're going to Cerakote. When you go up to level 2, there's more polish work involved. You're going up to 600 to 800 on that. The detail on the prep on that takes 3 times as long, frame and slide. And you're also on our levels, when you move up, you're moving up in finishes. So we stay real basic on the level 1. We offer Cerakote and stainless and DLC. You move to a polished gun, you can keep your DLC, but you're high polishing everything. You're going up to 600 to 800, even on your smalls. So when you send it off to DLC, it comes back looking like a mirror. And that's where you get your level 1s and level 2s. You also add color case hardening and some light engraving on those upper levels. And when you start shipping off to an engraver, that's when it gets complicated and you're at the end of the longest line. And that guy's usually popular, so you're having to wait for that to get on his bench. And we only use hand engravers. So when you only use hand engravers, you're not using a laser, you're not using a pretty generic process, which anybody can use a laser, and I think it's cool and has its place. But for us, at a real rudimentary level, we like what we do with our hands and our handcraft. We expect the same out of our engravers. And that takes time. Just on our level 3. So when you go from a level 2 to level 3, the prep stays pretty similar. You add probably another 40 hours worth of prep, and then it goes off to the engraver. And it gets engraved. And it takes about a week to engrave a level 3 for us. Solid 40 hours. And then it comes back to us, and then we send it to finish.
What happens if he messes up?
That's a big problem.
Yeah,
that's a big problem.
That's where you get your slowdowns.
Yeah, that's when you have a little bump and you have to readdress and you replace parts.
It happens.
It does. I mean, it's part of our business. And there's nothing. Everybody's going to make a mistake, even we do on the bench. To this, knock on wood, honestly, to this point, Jim's done a heck of a job for us, and we haven't had.
It can't be easy.
When you watch him on and the speed he works, and we've got a video online that shows his work and the way he's working on the loop. He goes to SHOT Show and sits in front of thousands of people in SHOT Show and engraves guns.
Couldn't do it.
It's immense pressure, and he does it, and it looks just like our level 3s. It's the exact start and stop. You can't tell where the starts and stops are. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Start and stop on engraving is vital.
Oh yeah.
His tool work is just sexy. It's beautiful. And it's smooth.
It's good work.
It really is solid work. So when you get to that point, you've engraved it, you send it off to color case, your frame's going color case, your slide's going over to bluing. We use several different contractors, Barron and Turnbull, and we got a local guy at Reeds Creek. And that bluing is another process, as you know, Matt, that is intricate and delicate. And if you...
I don't have the patience.
If a guy farts in the room next to you, it scratches it.
Yeah, I'd rather shoot.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, there's a reason I'm not a gunsmith.
Yeah.
I'm a bull when it comes to that. I leave them to that. When it gets back in, they hand assemble.
I know my limitations.
Yeah,
sure.
They say, okay, Matt, it's yours. Don't drop it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then on the level 3s, the last part of that is that we have a custom case made for it, and that builds into the price. I mean, it's a custom dovetailed solid walnut.
I've seen that case. It's badass.
Yeah, it's kind of second to none when it comes to the really nice cases in the business. 3/4 inch solid walnut all the way around, dovetailed.
I will say I saw it earlier, and it's probably one of the more impressive functional display pieces for like something like this, where it's like it looks insanely beautiful, but like if I had a wild hair, you could go shoot it, it would work, and that's the point.
Yeah, and Ronnie Ferrier, the guy that makes those, is a super talented guy. He makes actually these little round displays up here for us out of walnut as well. And if you know anything about woodworking, making anything circular out of wood, it's not easy. And he claims it's easy. That's what this guy does, and it's just amazing to have it.
No thanks. I couldn't do that either.
No, it's way too intricate for me.
And what about, because I noticed on some of the different models of various different PVD finishes, I've seen sort of rose gold or burnt bronze. The grips. I've seen a few of them, and I've heard you talking about a few of them, and some of them are some pretty exotic and wild materials. Yeah,
we've gotten really blessed with our grip maker too. Ben Jennings, his name, and he's a knife maker. He makes Damascus. He was on Forge and Fire, all that, and he's right in Northwest Arkansas. Ironically, he's 30 minutes from our shop. And we just bumped into him because one of my partners knew of him through another shop. And about 6 months ago, we solidified the deal, and now we're making meteorite, mammoth ivory, T-Rex bone grips that go on our they're called extinction level event grips, and they're just remarkable. I mean, you're talking about 165 million year old dinosaur bone.
Oh, they're stunning.
Amazing when I get those
so
too.
different
It's
than
weird.
anything you really see on
It's weird
on
to
a
think about
11.
it. Yeah, and you think about meteorite. Who knows how old meteorite is, right? I mean, it could be 1 trillion years old, floating around this galaxy, and it lands on this rock, and my guy cuts it and puts it on a set of grips.
Do you know where he got the meteorite at?
Yeah, actually, China. It actually has a letter of authenticity with the meteorite, the mammoth, and the dinosaur bone.
Does it have that Whitnam stamp in it? Is that what they call it, Whitnam stamp?
Yeah, and it shows you materials that's
the
in
lines.
It. Yep, it shows you the materials. This particular meteorite is called alatai.
Okay.
It is found in China in 1898.
Okay.
And it tells the properties of the steel that's actually
How big is it?
Say it again.
How big?
The meteorite's huge. This one is, they were describing it as about 5 by 5, I think is what it was.
Pretty
it was
good
a
size.
giant one.
Heavy.
They've been pulling off of it for years.
Really?
So are people just buying like chunks at a time from this giant rock, or is
Yes,
this somebody
sir.
has bought the entire thing?
Well, you buy
imagine
chunks.
that's super
There's
expensive.
one that landed in South Africa I know about that my buddy got, and we used some of that.
Is that Campo? Is that what that one's
Maybe.
called?
Maybe. And I know over there in like Russia, they get a lot of them.
They do.
Because they're big, obviously.
Yeah.
And then they also get a lot of their mammoth there too. Because you
They
can
do. That's where we get the majority of our mammoth, because it is stuck in the permafrost.
Yep.
So you don't have the up and downs of the temperature, and it actually solidifies the product and almost stabilizes it.
Yeah.
It's a lot better product to work with.
I never heard of the T-Rex stuff. That's new to me.
That was something that, again, our grip maker is just as diligent and ornery as we are, and we'll go hunting and fighting for these materials that our product demands. I mean, it's a really great pairing because we're like, go find it, make it cool. And he comes back and says, one day, he says, hey, I can bid on some T-Rex bone. And I shouted at the guys, you can get some T-Rex. And they're like, get it. And so we got it there in a week, and it's magical.
That's cool.
Then he came back and said, hey, I can get Moonrock. And I was like, okay.
I had a chance on that, and I turned it down.
Did you?
Yeah.
Have you seen it in person?
No.
I haven't either. I'm wanting him to get some just so I can see it. And then we'll build a set of grips.
I just want to touch it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's cool to hear because, I mean, as we were talking a bit off camera, what I find sort of disheartening is how much of the craft of the the hand engraving, and honestly, a lot of the aesthetic work and just the build quality work of hand building a 1911. I mean, very few companies or designs of firearms are entirely hand built in a way that a 1911 is.
Well, the biggest problem with the whole scenario of hand building is there's not many teachers anymore. There's just not many people willing to invest in teaching this art, and it goes to engraving as well. Alex Cermak is 40 years old, but he's probably one of the last masters there'll be. You know, at his age.
Leather work, just like
leather works the same way.
Yeah.
You find a good leather maker, keep him busy, because we're losing these people. We're losing this skill set and this handcraft. And I mean, we can lean into what my prep guys do on these guns, and they look like machines did it. Just the bevels on the back of the slide where the serrations are, that's all hand done. And meeting those serration lines is hand filed. My guys feel it in the file. If you can't feel in the file, you can't work for us. And that is a skill set you really have to earn and learn over years. I mean, our average guy our gun builders are 22 years on the bench building guns, and the two prep guys are 14 years. They came right out of high school. Rusty and Ryan, they're brothers. Awesome guys, super talented, but they are the best we've ever seen. And I've been around those guys. I've been around them at Nighthawk. I've been around them at CAG. I've been around them a lot of different shops. And all the guys I visit with, they say, man, how do those guns get so even with hand files? Because it's an art. It takes, you know how long it takes Jason to build a gun?
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's nuts. And it's the same kind of prep we're talking about. And Jason builds from beginning to end. He's doing his prep and his build.
Yeah.
As a
one gunsmith, one thing. Yeah.
He's doing it all.
Yeah.
But like the industry to some degree might not be the right way to say it, but it's a little stagnant or maybe lost.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think so many firearms now, it'll sound silly a bit, but like when you're putting this much work into guns, and I'm sure you'll have this like with your dad's gun, like they have souls.
Yeah.
In a way, like you feel that.
Yeah, you're attached. I got a story for every gun I own.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like I just hate that you're seeing, like you said, like just so many trades and so many just skills that require this level of craftsmanship and actual talent. Like you don't see very often. I think that's probably why this niche is so popular and just exploding.
Well, I think it's what drives Matt and me both is that we really appreciate what this country is founded on. And it's firearms and freedom and skill.
Yep. And the engineering
of what we've done as a country is amazing. And this is kind of the end result of it. But I think him and I both want to help push this industry along and keep it going. And as a collector, he's doing that. As a manufacturer, I'm doing that. We're trying to make sure we keep this alive in the best possible vernacular we can and provide it to the customer that appreciates it.
Yeah.
And so, and I know, obviously, in the time that you guys have been operating, you have just done 1911s. You don't have to necessarily give anything away, but with such a popularity of the 2011 and double stack 1911 platform,
this had to come up.
Is there any interest? Little birdies want to know.
Yeah.
Any interest or direction towards possibly doing a double stack 1911 in the future?
Absolutely.
Maybe in 460 rolling.
I think at 460.
The 460 rolling has to be first.
We'll call it the collector
double
series.
stack. That'd be sick.
We'll call it the collector series.
Yeah.
They'll have an optic of your choice.
Thank you.
Just obscure guns in 460.
Yeah. I mean, yes. The short answer is yes, but they're going to be bespoke. We take our time with everything. We're a little slower than the average bear, but we don't rush to market. My guys are going to make sure they're A1, probably steel frames to start with. We like a shooter, and we'll back down into a titanium frame or an alloy frame or something like that, but keep it exotic. And I've even looked at magnesium, interesting material, and there's a couple guns being made out of magnesium, which is pretty cool. But yeah, double stacks will be a original grip from us. We'll probably start with a Commander bull barrel, 9 milli.
That's good. That's a good way to
We'll
go.
dive into 45. We're going to
There
do
you
a
go.
45.
Yes. You don't see that very often, by the way.
No, you really
honestly,
don't.
and I hate that.
Yeah, we actually worked at a company that built one a long time ago. And Matt, you might have run into one. It's called a KZ-45, built by Wilson Combat.
Yeah.
And Kevin and I both were around that gun a lot. Great little. It was kind of before its time. It was a double stack 45 and a polymer frame designed by Alex Duplassis from South Africa. And I owned a couple. I owned a 9, and all our gunsmiths have kind of worked on them. But we, like I said, we want to make sure they're special. So we're thinking about, doing a bull barrel setup, maybe a color case slide, stainless steel frame, carbon steel frame, so we can color case it. We also want to put, if we're going to do them, the side of that grip frame has enough room to put grip panels in it. And so we can start putting meteorite, mammoth, mokutai, those kind of inserts in the side of them so our customer can make them theirs and get that warm and fuzzy.
What about, you guys going to go a tactical way at all?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll do a tactical version too. We like to go blingy first.
Hey, I like blingy blingy.
Yeah. Everybody likes a little bling.
Yeah.
But we'll drop down and do like I said, an alloy. I like the idea of a titanium if I can figure out how to get that
Do
tooled.
a pick rail on it and stuff like that.
We'll do a pick rail on a commander, so it's nice and tight and fat and squatty and cool looking. And we'll do ambies. Optics will be a big thing on there. It'll probably be standard.
Comped or not?
We'll work on comps eventually. We'll probably do an island comp eventually. Comps are tough. You want to do them right. The timing's different. But with 4 guys in the shop, if we add one gunsmith who we kind of got our eyes on, that'll come quicker than later. And we need to do another podcast when that happens because you guys.
You guys are going to need it because you're exploding.
Oh well, thank you.
Well, I guess because I'm sure you have quite a few 1911s. So jump in on this one. Where do you guys see, just talking about how popular the 2011 is now and the double stack 1911 world is, and it just seems to keep getting bigger and bigger.
Depends on the age bracket you're talking to.
That's also true. But I guess where
him
do you
and I
see,
are going to be traditional, guaranteed.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, all damn day.
Yeah.
The 2011 has its place. Don't get me wrong. It's cool and all. I dig it. You get more rounds. I get all that. But traditional.
I was just saying, I feel like as much as I like 2011s, 1911s are where my heart's at because that was my very first gun. I bought it in college
1911's lighter, depending upon.
when I should have been buying a $1,200-$1,300 gun at the time, type of thing. And it's like I've always loved 40. Like I'm somewhat of a purist, a little bit on the single stack side. Like full size 45 is usually what I
God's
gravitate
round.
towards.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, God's. 17 World Wars.
Yep.
But I guess where do you see 1911s fitting into this space with such a focus on?
It all depends when the last old guy dies.
Yeah.
Because it's going to stick around unless you get somebody who's your age, who's like, I'm going to build 1911s traditionally. You get the guys who are like me and Matt, practically the same age. It's going to die out when we die out.
Yeah.
Is what I'm afraid.
I'm afraid of that too. The one salvation I have is that our little crew down in Northwest Arkansas, we all have kids.
Yeah.
And they're in love with what we do. And so I have a little bit of hope.
You have a little bit of
hope
outlet
for the talent that's actually oozing out of their dads.
Start them young. Yep.
And we're going to have a pretty serious apprentice program that we can build in. And we want to continue this with talented young men and women that are as enthralled as we are with handcraft and building the finest 1911 single stack. And I love 2011s. I fought against it for a long time. I own one. When I worked at Nighthawk, I had Brian Cheney build me a VP double stack, and it's an amazing gun, runs like a champ. I mean, great gun. And I'm talking about another company, but I love Nighthawk. They're great guys. And that gun probably changed my mind about double stacks. I had a choice. Cheney gave me a choice at the time. He's like, Riker, what do you want to build? I'll build you anything, because he was getting ready to retire, and he was building his son a gun. He said,
Take advantage of that.
And I said, you're building me the last 1911 you ever going to build at Nighthawk? And he goes, well, if you want a 2011, I'll build you that. And I said, yeah,
Well,
it'll be a 2011. And it was my first 2011. And I got to say, that's the one where when I came to my crew and I said, look, I wouldn't be on this train because I'm the purist. I mean, I am a purist when it comes to single stacks, but this gun changed my mind.
But it was the builder that changed your mind.
It was. Honestly, it was Brian. And you know what? Nighthawk.
If it was a normal one off the shelf, would you have bought it?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be here talking about that gun on this show. But I can tell you right now, that made me a believer because anybody can shoot that gun really well.
Oh, yeah.
My wife shoots it really well. You can pick that gun up and run it and make mistakes and still get the guy. I mean, I understand 15 versus 8. I get all that. The big thing for me was the feel of the grip. And when they went to that more aggressive grip at Nighthawk, I think it's a Phoenix Trinity, it does well, and it locks you in pretty good. And if we go forward, that's part of it, is making sure the gun's grippable on a 2011, which is a totally different shape.
Completely.
Well, I imagine you guys you'll handle that well, just because shooting these single stack 45s, I mean, it's not, it's a heavy gun.
Yeah.
But when you're shooting a gun that's built this well and just the tolerances are as tight and sort of mated together to just function seamlessly as they do.
Yeah.
Forget about everything else.
I personally think you feel it when you shoot.
Well,
I feel like in the slide, and there's very little barrel bump, if any. It's incredibly soft recoiling, because actually, the barrel lug it's on the slide stop.
I think you're right there, and Matt shot a couple of them. Matt, what was your opinion?
I liked them a lot. Actually, I was actually fairly impressed. And I shoot a lot of high-end 1911s, and I actually dig it.
Was that reset?
How much was that? 120?
The black one's 120.
Is that the most expensive one you got?
Yeah, right now.
Can you make that in 10 mil?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll think about that.
I'll put an optic on it for you too, baby.
Huh?
I'll put an optic on it for you too.
You put an optic on anything for that. Yeah, exactly.
I'll put it underneath of it if you
will.
will.
How about a matching suppressor for it and everything else?
So
That'd be kind of sick.
So is that your
With it
favorite?
interchangeable for 460 rolling or something?
We can do that.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, just a second barrel.
Yeah.
Well, do a whole new slide.
Oh,
Yeah, just do a whole new slide.
exactly.
Just put
You
the
switch
slide
them
on
out.
it.
Yeah.
I'll be a
Mags and
big
slide.
boy.
Yep.
Dude, I'll have them
Big
engraved
boy
and
toy.
DLC the mags. We'll do the whole thing.
Yep. And I bet they give me the table for free.
We will.
That's what I say.
Well,
At that
we'll put
point,
Matt the collector on it. We'll engrave that.
Yeah.
So out of all of them shooting, was that your favorite? Just in terms of, is it a mix? Is it a mix of looking at it and
what's your
aesthetic
favorite kid or what's your favorite gun? I mean, come on. That's difficult.
They won't know if you pick it.
I mean, it shoots really fucking nice. The craftsmanship is what I like the most. I mean, for a gun like that, worst case scenario, you need a fucking gun, you grab it. Otherwise, you're not going to shoot that gun.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I mean, you want it to look pretty. I mean, it's just nice to look at. It's like having a Lambo, or I take that back, having a stripper but can't touch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's looking great. She looks fine.
Just
And you want to
window
touch it,
shopping.
but you can't because you want to go shoot it, but you can't.
That's right.
But it's sick. I mean, I would do a video on that, and I'd only shoot it once. A lot of my guns,
then never again?
I'll never again.
Yeah.
Well, what do you like? So when you're doing anything like that, what is it that's deciding what goes on your YouTube? Is there a particular process that makes you go?
It depends. Sometimes we shoot it off the hip. Sometimes, but normally we do what we call a mail call video. So I used to spend about 10 to 30 grand a month on guns,
Okay.
and I've dialed that back quite a bit because I wanted to focus more money on the ranch because it's just all about that currently. I mean, because I'm running out of space, to be honest with you, in my house.
You got to be
mean,
selective now, brother.
Yeah, I do.
start adding on.
Well, yeah, I can't do that now. But I mean, you're talking if the house is 14,000 square feet and I don't have any space for guns, which is stupid. You know what I mean? So I kind of want to get out there and build more so I can have place for more guns. Now, I tend to move guns around so certain people don't notice that they're new. Yeah, that's a little trick I've learned.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. Make sure it's the same color too.
That's a good one.
Yeah, make sure it's the same color so
like
they don't know it's new.
ultra subtle.
So they don't know it's new.
That's nice.
They don't need to know.
Same gun. What are you talking about? It was
Exactly.
2 months ago.
Not going to cost that much.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, a gun like for the YouTube channel, I would definitely do a video on that. But it's something I would just shoot it and be done. I can't shoot any more than that. I mean, fuck.
You know what I'll do? I'll send you a level 3. Shoot the shit out of it. Seriously.
Okay.
I'll send you a level 3. It's color case. Well, you can design it.
Okay.
You do a video on it, shoot the shit out of it, keep it for a year, do another video year long.
I'll shoot. Well, it's funny they said we took some. I did. Me and Cowboy Cerrone.
Yeah.
We were with some wounded warriors out there in New Mexico last week, and I took about $150,000 in guns.
Nice.
I mean, in pistols. The 1911s alone.
Wow.
Okay.
Just in 1911.
Just the 1911s. That was 5 of them.
Nice.
Okay. To let them shoot. And then we took the Shy-Tech that I just got and stuff like that. So I think a couple $100,000 out there with me. And we had a blast shooting. Those guys are great shots.
Yeah.
God, they're great shots. But everybody flowed towards 1911s. Most veterans do.
Did they really?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's just so fun to shoot. I mean, especially the trigger. If nothing
But
else,
it's iconic because, usually, veterans, World War II, 1911s, World War I, 1911s. Everybody just kind of just flows to that. I mean, if I was looking at the wall, I'd look, oh, cool, 1911, and my eye would stop.
Yeah. It's me too.
I mean, I've looked at M60s, and I looked at 1911. I'd pick the 1911 over an M60.
Yeah, because you have a decent bit of full auto and things like that, correct?
I have a few, yes.
What was at what point were you kind of like, I've got to have a handful of select fire?
Well, everybody's always giving me plenty of shit that I don't have a full auto, and this is my reasoning behind it. And people can bitch at me all you want. I do have a semi-auto M240. I have a semi-auto 249. People can say all they want, and I really don't care, because an M240 I saw go for $500,000 for a full auto gun.
It's a lot.
Okay, exactly.
It's just a lot.
It's a fucking lot of money.
Yeah.
Now, my M240 that I bought semi-auto was $14,000. Okay,
it's a great gun.
If you guys came over, hey, look at this new full auto. We shoot it for 10 seconds, get our rocks off, and put it up. What fun is that?
Fun.
You just burn up a bunch of ammo. Yeah, it's cool, but it's just a $500 to $1,000 toy.
Yeah.
Shelf toy, just sitting there and just looking at it.
Yeah.
And just, I could spend that $450,000 on something else. I mean, guns I can buy with $450,000.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot
So
of,
I'd much rather take the money, put it towards that instead. I don't have to
four of
have
those.
full. Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 full autos, and I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But I buy ones that I can interchangeable barrels. I can put, make it a 9. I can make it 5.56. Lage, I think, is the name of the company that builds uppers for lowers for Mac 10s.
Yeah.
And you can buy those, and you only have to have one tax stamp, and you can have multiple calibers to shoot.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's full auto. It's great, but yeah, you don't get me going down that rabbit
then
hole.
I guess like with a lot of the firearms you're reviewing, or just the various firearms you're showing on your channel, is there any mix of you're ever buying them specifically for the channel itself, or because I know obviously you had a collection before the YouTube started.
Right? No, I mean, I buy them because I fucking like them. If nobody else likes them, I don't give a shit.
So then it's just
for me.
Okay,
it's just for me. If they don't like them, most people guns that I buy, most people go nuts over.
I was gonna say, I feel like people seem to like the content you're posting.
Right. So I usually just buy some if I like, but it's like I tell manufacturers, they'll say, well, we'll send you a gun for free, blah, blah. I said, if I like it, I'll talk passionate about it, but I want to buy it. I don't want it for free. That's not the way I roll. I don't want to be one of these guys, influencers that has to get some, we'll give it to you for free. I don't want it for free. Everybody's got to make fucking money.
Well, it stands behind, like, especially if you're
really refreshing.
If you're recommending
Yeah.
it too, though, like it's one of those things where I get the industry, but it's hard to believe some people, when they're promoting a product, and so, whether it's just because you think in the back of their head, you're like somebody gave that to them.
No, I get manufacturers send me free ammo, and I'm all about that, and I'll tell them that. I mean, but I'll buy it too. God knows I need it, but if they send me free ammo, great. I'll take the free ammo. I mean, if they want to give me a discount, I'll take that, but I don't expect things for free. I wasn't brought up that way. It's not the way my parents brought me up. So I'd much rather, if the gun company says, hey, we'll give you 50, I'll buy it, stuff like that. But you'll know if I'm passionate about it by the video. If I won't like it, it'd be pretty evident. And that's not fair to the gun company to give me something I'm not going to like. That's not fair to them. It's bullshit.
Especially, there's a lot of great gun companies who are clearly making awesome guns.
Right.
And I feel like it'd be disservice to not be paying them for their skill and the worth.
And I've heard influencers, say, well, that's a small company and I won't get anything free. I'm like, I can't go that route, man. Small companies, when I go to SHOT Show, you got 2 different levels of SHOT Show. You got the lower guys in the bottom who are the mom and pop shops.
Yep.
They don't get any love. Yep. They're not on the main level because it's expensive at SHOT Show. They're
fighting harder than anybody on the top floor.
Yeah,
and they're using their maxing out the credit cards to get a display
just to be there for 4 days.
Right, and the small display, I think in SHOT Show is what $5,000?
Yeah,
down there.
Yeah,
I know what the main level is like. Goes up to level to $100,000. I've seen it.
Oh yeah,
and I've heard different stories. I like to go and see the guys at the bottom because they have the cool shit that nobody thinks of. Because
they're innovators.
Yeah, they're innovators.
They always have
and I've seen some really cool shit.
Yeah.
One was a loader that I did, and the guy sold out within 10 minutes after I did the video.
Really?
Yeah. And I was proud that it was a little guy who made some money, and that was cool to me. So I like the little guys more than I like the big. Don't get me wrong, the big guys are good too.
Oh yeah.
But the ones that mom and pops are starting up, spending all their money to get to SHOT Show, dealing with the hotel crap, dealing with the crowds, dealing with the dinners, dealing with all the expensive shit that goes on in Vegas. And
It's a $20,000 bill no matter what you do.
oh yeah. And I want to help those guys out. You know, that's where I see a lot of them at. So I'll go wander around there. Well, that's cool. I want that. That's cool. I want that. The downside about SHOT Show, which I hate, is if you've ever been to SEMA. Have you ever been there?
I haven't been to SEMA,
I've
but
heard.
I know that
I've heard.
my ex-boss actually is on the board there.
Yeah.
But I was always working another show when he was working SEMA. But that show is huge.
I've heard
Yeah.
it makes SHOT Show look small.
Oh, it is.
No, I've heard the other.
Really?
Opposite. I've heard SHOT Show's bigger just because
Really?
that SEMA's bigger because of square footage
Yeah.
of how much they use, but they count the outdoors too. Oh. So that's what I was told. Now, if
Well, now with
It's always
Caesars,
possible.
well, now with Caesars though, it shot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if, if Shot's
I
bigger.
feel like it's bigger. I like Caesars because of the carpet when you're
Oh,
walking.
dude,
on it.
it's a much nicer
better.
spot, dude.
But SEMA was the same way because I had a car displayed at SEMA. I was doing all that back in my car days, and I still love SEMA because I'm a gear nut.
I've heard it's an amazing show.
Yeah, gearhead. I'm a gearhead from hell, so I love that kind of shit. But I hate it because SHOT Show and SEMA are the same as far as this is what we're coming out with, but you're not going to get it for a year and a half, or two. Nothing pisses me off. Don't show it unless you're going to have it within 6 months. Don't. I mean,
Yeah, that doesn't make
it's a
any
fucking
sense.
tease. It's
Yeah.
a tease. I hate it because I've heard, hey, I'll take that. And, you know, I tell them, I'll buy 5 of those right now.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we won't have it. They scratch their head and look at each other like, we're not going to have it out for another. Oh,
It's poor
Okay.
planning.
I mean, I guess to your point too, like why
it's a
some of
tease.
some of those lower, you know, like on the SHOT Show, like the guys that are grinding, like why some of that stuff is so
Yeah, they're
interesting.
working out of their
because
garage.
It's, you know, it's not their fault, but on the main level, you know, some of these massive companies,
Yeah.
it's hard for them to come out with something ultra revolutionary every single year to show.
I could never do that gun straight just because of that. Because you got to stay ahead of the curve. If you
Yeah.
don't stay ahead of the curve, you're fucked.
Oh yeah.
There's no way. Because I couldn't. I've been offered numerous times either invest in a company or buy a company. Nope. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
There's a lot of stress in it.
Not even the car community. I wouldn't touch any of that crap in the 10. I don't have the patience. I will get pissed pretty quick. And I'm too damn picky about something. Because if I look at it and I QC it and I see it and there's a nick in, let's say the slide, and he's just spent a whole month doing it, I'll say trash it, start over.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, at a certain point, it's like if it's going to take that amount of time, I'm always going to be in the back of my head. I would have rather had it done the way I wanted, or you know, pick this or that, or fix
Right.
this thing that I just wasn't really a big fan
Right.
of.
Right.
So I was like, that's the way I would do it.
But since I've done YouTube though, I'm seeing it's a whole new world than what I'm used to.
In what way?
And well, everybody knows everybody. Anybody who quits at one gun company goes to work for another gun company. I actually know a guy who's developing a website for people in the gun community to find jobs, which I think is pretty cool.
It's,
is
it's
really
small. It's
cool.
a pretty small industry.
Yeah, and it's just odd. I mean, it's just all these doors. You know, when you start YouTube, people, you think it's really easy, but it's a fucking full-time job.
Oh, it is.
I mean, there's a lot to it that a lot of people don't know that it takes.
Well, yeah, give us like a brief like SHOT Show schedule for you, because I imagine you're meeting a lot of people and going to a bunch of different
it
booths.
depends. Johnny, he's not in here. Depends on what he's got scheduled. Like I'm usually like an aim points booth for an hour a day, or stop box maybe an hour a day. It depends on what manufacturers I'm with at that point, or Winchester safes with them too, and they're good people just to hang out with. But it's pretty nonstop. I mean, you're constantly walking to booth. If Johnny's got it posted, he tries to split them up for me so I can get to booth. But otherwise, and I need some free time in there at some point to eat.
Yeah.
But then you get, the bad thing is, let's say, like, if I'm at a booth from 10 to 11, I take that back, from 9 to 10, and I got to be at a booth at 11, I got to plan it, because I'll get stopped 6 or 7 times on the way.
Yeah.
Who people recognize me and stuff like that, want their picture taken, which I would do in a heartbeat for anybody. I don't care if I'm late or
yeah.
not. Those people come first before the manufacturer, as far as
I'm sure at that point, though, it's probably just
refreshing.
hard to
Yeah.
kind of get around a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, mainly if I go to gun stores, it'll hit them sometimes. I can't go to my local gun shows. It sucks unless I go with some people that I know that have my back, because I don't want anybody following me out the door, follow me to the house, and
Yeah.
all that kind
It's
of
gotta
crap.
be a
'Cause the
legit problem.
The weirdos are out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The weirdos are out there, but I've got panic buttons I can hit if a lot of people will show up if
Yes,
need be
that stuff starts happening.
that I know that yes, it'll get pretty nuts pretty quick, because the people in my neighborhood I have a neighbor who is formal CIA, another person who's was KGB, the other one was CIA. So that's all my neighbors around me.
So you're
I'm
covered.
pretty
probably.
covered.
It's pretty insulatory.
Oh, it's the stories I get.
I bet.
But they're cool people. They're people my age are just having a good time. They're retired and
Nice.
just fucking around.
Well, that's what we
I
deal
love
with. I mean, it's our age group for
Yeah.
the most part. We get some younger guys, but that group of 40 to 60-year-olds have amazing life stories when they get to us, and I get to hear them, and that's part of the process is these guys' experience and where they're at and how they landed on us and designed their own guns. That's really
It's a different world.
Different-
It's a
different-
golden
totally
age.
cool. Yeah.
Well, I guess I want you to chime in on as well because you're doing a bunch of social media now. Instagram, showing up on YouTube a ton. But like, how are you guys with the YouTube channel navigating censorship, age restrictions, a lot of the content that continually gets retroactively changed? And then I got dinged on an Instagram post from like 5 years ago, shooting a random gun. It wasn't anything necessarily bad, and it was just because Instagram's current
You
policies.
go first, Matt, and I'll go second.
Yeah. So that's a really random thing with socials. We tend to keep it pretty blasé, and I don't say a whole lot of specifics on there. It's mostly show and tell. And our stuff's kind of artistic, so it's not too tactical. I feel like tactical is a magnet, and it shouts military a little bit. And people see ours, they don't, for knock on wood now, I don't get reported a whole lot. And we have a lot of people who share our stuff, so we should be. But what I'll get is really, like you say, a random from like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Where I'm out just test firing, and I'm just test firing. There's nothing weird about it. I'm not sweeping the camera. I'm just test firing. And I turn around and say something to the camera like, that was wicked. Have you guys seen that thing? Look at the reset on that. And then that one gets dinged. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But YouTube is a different thing for us. We aren't as delved into it or invested into it as Matt is. That's something we're working on. But the ones we've done to now, like I said, I've been very blessed. And I think maybe some of it is because of the timing, because we just in the last 6 months have gotten heavy with it. And they've relaxed a little bit, I feel, on the Google part of it, of YouTube is relaxed a little bit. Yeah. I feel like.
They've relaxed?
I think they have. Yeah, for me.
Oh, lucky you.
I know. I'm a greenhorn. I'm a greenhorn. I've only been doing it like 6 months. So
come hang out with me and see what happens.
Oh, dude, it'll happen. Oh, believe me, I know it'll happen. And actually, you know what? It's worth it. If we get to hang out and we do our thing, it's worth it.
You guys come out anytime you guys want.
Oh, we'll be there.
So kind of bridging that gap of somebody like you who has enough firearms and enough sort of higher end firearms to also be really particular about knowing what things you like.
Now I know what to look for because I've learned a lot since YouTube.
How does that sort of translate with you guys in terms of like when you go to build any of these guns that are probably like 10K plus, when like I would imagine at that point I want to feel very involved in the build, even if I maybe don't.
And the pressure and the pressure's still on for the gun manufacturer because
it's huge.
They know that guy knows about his guns and how particular he's going to be, so they're going to take extra time on the gun just due to that fact because they don't want to have a fault. I mean, if fault happens, I've had gun companies build me guns and say, "Hey, we can't do this. We something happened or something like that." And I said, "Dude, shit happens. I get it. It gets done when it gets done. I mean, I don't have to have a gun right now. I mean, it's not this second.
It's like anything. I mean, we're all human, so there's going to be human error, but it's how a company consistently responds to making a mistake. That
comms are key. I mean, if you aren't communicating with your customers and in the beginning through the build process and being applicable to any kind of communication they've got, that's your buyer. That's your, we treat them as family, and that's why they come to us at that time is because our skill level is a little different than the average bear, and they come to us on purpose. Like they know what they're getting from us. They've had the other guns out there, and they're like, okay, we know who we're dealing with here. We expect this level of service. Okay. Customer service is a huge part of a buyer.
Well, it's no different than when I did the dealership back in the day. Yeah. They pushed into us when you started a dealership, deal with people with cars. You want to know an update on your car. And you would do an update maybe every day or every other day, depending upon the situation. Right. And it should transfer to any business personally. Because I've given gun companies $5-10 grand and I don't have a fucking gun. And I don't hear it from them. That pisses me off.
Oh, I bet.
Because I'm like, I just got 10 grand. You guys got 10 grand of my money.
Yeah.
Was there's a ratio, I guess, of some of these guns just being built by you guys going, this is what we think's cool, or this is how we're sort of viewing the market and what we think will sell, versus somebody like the Collector coming, along and going, hey, I want these features, this feature, I want to maybe push the boundaries of some materials.
More in the beginning, because you kind of have to get it out there in front of people. So, I get to kind of start the design process and work with our team to say, hey, is this applicable? Do you guys like this idea? Because this is what I'm thinking for this gun. And that was in the beginning, because you got to get your brand started and you got to get people interested in your gun. So really now, since we've got our foothold and we've got our foundation kind of set in the sand, it's more the customer that's designing at this point, because they've seen what we can do. They've seen our level 1, 2, 3, and now the Cermax. So they kind of see the tattoo that we've created on the skin, and they're like, okay,
kind of have something to base it off of, sort of.
Right, and that's really what it is play setter. And then we tell them, hey, look at this online, but realize you can do this. That can be a Commander, a 10 millimeter, a 460 rolling.
Do you guys do matching sets, right and left? Have you guys ever done that?
Not left-handed eject.
Yeah,
but dueling guns, serial custom.
If you do left-handed and right-handed eject, that would be cool.
Oh no, we talked about it, and actually getting the twist rate going on the left-handed shooter as well. We understand the rifling part of that, and lefties have a place in the shooting world just as much as righties.
I like matching number. Like I told you about that gun I had.
Serialized, matching numbers.
Not just that, but left and right. Nothing to have something cool like that and have grips like from a volcano. Mount St. Helens, for example.
That'd be cool.
Shit like that has a cool grip to it. Yeah, maybe harsh looking, but if you do something with some rare materials or something like that and make it at left or right.
Yeah. And
even if it's fucking threaded, even if you're not putting a can on it, these aren't selling the can. Something out of the box, because that's what draws me as a collector anyway.
Sure.
Because I don't know if what are percenters? I mean, you have your average Joe that will go spend maybe on a, if you save his money, $2,000 on a nice 1911, which they're out there.
Yeah.
But then you get the guys like me that will go and add another zero on there.
Sure.
And we go spend on that. But I'm looking for something like this one right here to the left. I dig that one more than I dig. Yeah, it hits the spot more than the right. But that's just my taste.
Sure.
Everybody's got some unique taste, but I like to tell gun companies cool ideas that I look for, because I think, since I get great response from my audience about the unique shit that's not your, like I said before, not like your average Joe would have. And, like volcanic, shit that, you can get on or wherever you could buy in the United States, or something that's really, really cool. Some part off a car.
Yeah.
You build a Porsche model, then you got to worry about copyright crap. But, if you put an emblem of a Porsche in the grips or something like that, that would trip my trigger, just because I'm a Porsche guy.
We're actually building a gun for a guy. He's got it's that Mercedes G wagon thing. It's the big twin turbo V8 one.
Yeah, crazy one.
And it's got, it's a $225,000 rig, and it's got carbon fiber everywhere. It's maroon.
I know exactly which car you're talking about.
Yeah. He drove down to the shop. He's a DOD guy. He actually engineers drones. And
tough job.
Yeah, it's a very interesting job.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
And he owns a bunch of property to T&E over by us, and he just dropped in the shop one day and says, "Hey man, what's going on over here?" And we showed him. He said, "All right, you see my truck? Yep. I need you to build something with those colors. I need some carbon fiber, and I need something in my grip that says Mercedes." And we just happen to have the grip guy that can do that and peel off the Mercedes thing and put it in the center of that grip, and
crushed it.
Yeah, we're gonna build that for him coming up pretty soon, actually. So yeah, that's part of it. Is if a guy drives up in a GT3 and he says, "Hey, I want something to match my car."
It has to always. I have a gun for each car. It's sad. It's sad. I totally do. And mainly they're mostly John Wick guns. Mainly, is what I have.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's mainly what I have. But I always wish that John Wick movies would do old school flintlocks.
Yeah, so just something.
I might do a parody on that. We talked about doing a parody of that once.
That'd be cool.
Get all black powder, but do a parody, run up the driveway or something like that. We got and the cannon's the last one or something. I know, something stupid, because in one of the movies he's got to shoot. I can't remember what it was, a revolver or something.
Yeah,
and he had to put it together.
Oh yeah, it's is that the second one? He pulls. Yes, that is the second one. He pulls it out of the or breaks the glass.
If he would do another one, I think that would be kind of cool.
Would be,
because the old school part of that would be sick. So I think we're thinking about doing a parody of that.
That would be
cool,
fun.
man.
Yeah, I think that's going to be down the road project, but I have to drive on a horse. I don't think of a car.
But
I'll do
I
it
know
at the
just
ranch.
like listening to like all the stories, I'm sure we could talk for literally hours. I think I could actually talk for hours. But it gets me kind of thinking, with you having been in the industry for so long, and you having been collecting and just been in that world seriously for so long.
Right.
What are the things that you guys would say are either mistakes you learned from, memorable things where you're like, this is what I would tell people if I was going to decide to go into the various fields that you guys are in?
Oh God, that's a tough.
Like is there something, because I think that especially like the YouTube, it tends to look very rose colored from the outside to people who don't see the amount of work that goes behind.
Oh yeah,
some, you know what I mean?
It's nuts because to do an 8-minute video takes you 5 or 6 hours.
So I'd imagine there's a ton. There at least was a little.
It's
bit,
a lot of B-roll, background,
some
whatever.
trial and error, or just
Trial
like, wow,
and
I
error,
really
or,
jacked this up.
The bad thing is, it's great having all the guns. I love it. But, when you're getting ready, let's say I have a whiteboard in my office. I have a whiteboard for the ranch and I have a whiteboard and I write down my ideas. I may be in the shower and I may come in there and write it down real quick.
Sure.
Because that's where the name Collector, I was in the shower when I thought of that name. And I thought, that's a cool name. And I jumped out of the shower, got on my phone. Fuck, that's all the thing is, a movie. Nobody's taking it. So I instantly made it, standing there in the shower. Made it real quick, so nobody told me nobody take it. Yeah, I did the same way with Caliber Ranch. This is the same way. I hurried it. Nobody had it, so I hurried up and did it, so nobody could take it. Same with the emails. So, yeah, I mean, YouTube's a whole nother animal that what I'm used to, and I mean, I'm used to having employees to deal with, stuff like that. I still do, but I'm my own employee, and it never fails. Matt's dealt with this. When you take your car and you have a check engine light, does the check engine light go off when you take it to the dealer? Yes, because it goes off right before you get there. It
sure
doesn't
does.
want to stay
Murphy's
on.
Law.
Yeah.
It never happens. It always happens with guns. You grab a gun, you're going to do a video on it. What happens?
Click.
Either
Something doesn't
blows up, not the battery takes a shit because you forgot to turn it off last time.
Yep.
Or third thing, it just doesn't fire and you got bad ammo.
Yep.
It's always something.
It's always something.
It's always
that-
something. So
one of
you
those
can
cameras
test
are
fire
on.
the shit out of it, but as soon as you get it on camera, it falls apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like me when I sometimes in front of the camera because I'm
It's
not
just
used
some
to
of
it.
those long days.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
what about you especially? I mean, you've obviously been in the 1911 space for a long time. What are
Yeah.
some things you've kind of picked up on or learned? Like, hey, this is not how things should be done, or
So, for me, it's, stay in the future, stay in the now as far as innovation. I think that's really what this is.
It's hard to stay ahead.
You have to stay ahead of trends and there's only so many things you could do to a pistol or a rifle or a shotgun. You have to be special. You have to be talented. You have to bring something new to the table. And really, you'll get lost if you don't. I've seen a lot of companies rise and fall in a couple of years. A lot of it's bad management and not understanding entrepreneurship and how to save money and not pay yourself for a couple of years until you get on your feet. That's a big part of it. Relying on employees is a big problem.
Yeah.
It's
Nobody
probably
wants
the
to work
biggest
anymore.
problem is really finding quality people to work with you or under you. We work at Kings River Custom because we're employee owned, and we really couldn't do it if we were relying on employees because there's just not this kind of gun you can't build with a guy that comes out in and even if
8 to
he's-
5 guy.
there's
You
some-
can't get an 8 to 5 guy.
No,
to do
we're
that.
talking 5 years training just to be able to touch one of our guns.
yeah, it's extensive.
It's a very intricate, small group of builders.
A lot of people don't have the patience these
They
days.
don't, and they don't have the will to want to invest in it. As far as any kind of advice to people getting in the gun business, be honest.
Yep.
Be honest with everybody you talk to. Your integrity is worth
Communicate.
everything.
Communicate.
But honesty, really, if you stay honest, you have longevity. And if you're patient and kind and understand the industry is going to be here for a while and it's not dependent on you,
I feel
you
like
are
that's
part
not
of it.
That high of a bar to have to try and achieve.
It's not. It's pretty simple. That's all I've done.
Yep.
I mean, really, I've been in
seems
sales
to be
and customer
elusive.
service, and as long as you're honest with your customer base and you don't, you basically you don't overpromise, you overdeliver all the time. And one of the things I do with my customers, my dealers, and my customers alike, they ask me for build times. I always shoot 40% over.
Yeah.
Like if a guy asks me, "What's my build time?" On a gun, I'm like, that's a year, dude,
That way you look like a hero when you get delivered.
and I'm not
I mean,
zero.
Yep.
Obviously, in the immediate
Overpromise,
success.
undeliver is the biggest thing that is, nothing pisses me off more.
Oh, yeah.
Just tell me straight up, hey, it's going to be 6 months. And then call me in 3 months, say, hey, no, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Or something. I mean, I
Yeah,
had,
but
I
it's
had,
just- like I said, it's
had
just
a
the way they handle it.
Right. I had a customer's car that caught fire. We were working on it. The whole car went up.
Damn.
And I had to call a guy up and say, And I was like, oh, this
We burnt
is
your car
suck.
up, sir.
This is going to suck. I got to make this phone call. Called him. He says, oh, thank God I hated that car. And he was happy. Our insurance, of course, took care of it and everything else. Everything's
Wow.
fine. But it happens.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Yeah,
And
just, I mean,
people need to fucking understand that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like you said, there's always Murphy's Law is always going to try and be in there, and it's just how people handle it.
Yeah.
But so I guess what is next couple of months, maybe just throughout the rest of the year, if there's something that kind of you want to talk about, what's next for the two of you and YouTube and Kings Rivers Customs?
Matt?
Oh God! Well, there's the one I can't talk about.
That's
I've already
okay. Don't give any juice. You're not allowed.
There's one that's big. It's real big. I can't talk about it yet. Yeah. The second thing is probably just be prepared to watch the ranch a lot.
Okay.
I mean, for just some people, I mean, if you guys are on my Instagram, I'm shadow banned, so you got to type in the whole damn thing. Another irritating thing. But I bought a new military side-by-side that, that's the one that's all the guns going to go on, that special ops used. Everything else has everything on it. You can turn off, hit a switch, it turns off all the lights, so you can go black. And it has all the red up front, so you can go shoot thermal. So there's going to be a lot of that shooting to the ranch, drive-by, so to speak, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff happening at the ranch.
So definitely should be watching the channel because some cool stuff sounds like it's going to be coming down the pipe.
A helipad may have to be built.
Ooh, yeah.
Just some.
When in Rome.
Yeah, exactly. You just never know. I may just spontaneously come up with some crazy shit or buy some crazy shit, because I, like my shirt says, if I like it, I buy it. I have a rule: if I don't sit in it, I don't shoot it, or I don't wear it. Because if I do any of those three, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
If I sit in a car, I'll buy it. If I shoot the gun, I'll buy it.
At least
if
you
I
know
try the
yourself.
watch on, I'm going to buy it.
At least you know yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Same way, baby.
Exactly.
What about you guys?
Gosh, for us, it's growth, small growth, but adding a gunsmith probably, and working more on the project we talked about earlier. More cool materials, meteorite, more color case, Damascus is in the future. We've got a couple knife collaborations coming. Some really interesting artists to kind of collab with some of these higher end level 3s and 4s. We have a neat project where this kind of leans in what you were saying earlier, Matt. Mm-hmm. We're going to do a big case, a big 3.5 by 3.5 case, and probably put all of our models in there.
That's cool.
Yeah, and have gun here, gun here, gun here, gun here. Do PFG level 1, 2, 3, 4, and then probably put a Cermak in there in the middle.
That'd be cool.
Just some real bespoke stuff that kind of tweaks the interest of my friend over here a little bit, and maybe get some input from him. Working with the people we built this amazing circle of talent with. My gunsmiths at home are just itching to work with ideas coming from guys like Matt and those kind of collaborations.
I'll think of some crazy shit that
dude,
some of you may not like. No names
hey,
mentioned.
Listen,
I think he'll go
460 roll.
He'll undo his panties and probably eventually do it.
Oh,
but
dude,
you just never know.
we'll
those
make
Army guys, they kind of act like Coast Guard guys.
Yeah, we've got one of those guys.
So basically what you're
Yeah, one of
saying
those
is
guys.
somehow the
Yeah.
things that we see in front of us, you're planning to level up.
Yeah, this is the tip, just for a second.
Just the tip?
Yeah, just the tip, just for a second. But yeah, we're going to push the envelope like we've been doing the last 16 months. And yeah, like Matt said, there's some secret squirrel stuff that we've all talked about here. Working with great dealers like Blackstone is a big part of our future. Getting belly to belly with a dealer is really where we're at as a company. I think getting in front of our customers like we've done this weekend is important for our brand. We want to do a lot more of that, and then bring that same level with these amazing gunsmiths we got at home and show off what they're capable of. That's really the epitome of what Kings River is about. And if we can do some cool stuff with some new platforms and some new calibers, yeah, that's going to be 2025 and 26.
Well, I've said this, but I could probably talk to you guys about 1911s and double stack 1911s for hours.
Nice.
We definitely will have to have you guys back as you have some new things
Yeah, I'll be
to
back
chat
out.
about.
Yep.
And obviously, thanks for taking the time. I know, like I said, I know
sure.
you guys had to drive, and it's a good trip for you as well.
Yeah, I've been up
So
since about 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, so you've been grinding.
I'm on fumes right now. So what time is it now? What?
I don't know, what time is it? 11:30?
11:30 here.
Yeah.
9:30 where 9:30 where I'm at.
So we really genuinely
old, so we're past
appreciate
your
you guys
bedtime. Yeah.
taking time to come do this.
Yep.
There's a lot of things you could be doing useful with your time. So we appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with
thank
us.
you.
Anytime.
We have had a great time, and seeing these guns again, to shoot some of these guns. It's the first time I think I've shot a $12,000 1911. So that was definitely a bucket list.
Guys, I got to tell you, the crew out here on YouTube that watches this, these guys all shot these guns. They did phenomenally well. All of them can handle a gun really well.
Yep.
It's really nice to be around a crew that's safe, first and foremost, but appreciates what you bring to the table. I think Matt can attest to this.
Oh, yeah.
This crew is professional, and we couldn't be around better people, and thank you for that,
Yep.
Cory.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate that, brother.
I was gonna say,
awesome.
I have
It's been
we're
awesome.
probably the smallest part of that. Everybody behind the scenes and all the team, actual
I'll give
team
it
here
to
at
John.
Blackstone.
I'll give it
crushes
to them all. I mean, gosh, we've been here.
They make it look easy.
They
They
do.
make us look good.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
a hard job, too.
Yeah, that's a very hard job. Well, not much for me, maybe for you, but
Well, I cannot wait to have you guys back, but we'll stop it there.
Yep.
So that was a lot of
I'll
fun,
be back.
guys. Join us next time on the Range with Blackstone. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell notification, and join us for the next one. We'll see you soon.